Well, here he is on Howie Mandel in a segment we like to call Who's More Rotten? This Howie Mandel, I've warned you of him before, but I'm starting to figure out what's going on with this Howie. And maybe you'll see it. Maybe you'll pick up on this as we go through. Here's Howie in his hotel. He's in Austin. Clout chasing in Austin. It might be more of a clout chaser than Jelly Roll. At least Jelly Roll's I haven't busted Jelly Roll being too mean. But this Howie Mandel is an a-hole. Certified a-hole. I mean, look how he's dressed here. Jeez. Head to toe, Teddy Fresh. It doesn't matter where the clout comes from. If you get views, Howie is up your ass right now and trying to get in there. But it's weird with Howie because remember, Howie has been a comedian since the days of Richard Pryor. Howie's been a famous comedian since all of our lives started. When I was first born, Howie Mandel was one of the top comics, curly hair, Bobby's World. We've seen him on TV all of our lives. And all of a sudden, he wants to get back into comedy, right? We haven't really seen him in the stand-up world up until about, when he started this podcast here. And certainly nobody ever references Howie Mandel in any of the great stand-up stories I've ever heard. Think back to all those Opie and Anthony episodes, all the episodes of Joe Rogan and Mark Maron that we've all heard. Nobody talks about Howie Mandel or Howie Mandel's legacy. And now all of a sudden, Howie Mandel's back. And it's almost like he sees this new scene of comedians. He sees how big and rich everyone's gotten. And he kind of wants to do some adjusting. And very quickly, you could see, and very impatiently, he's almost trying to inject himself into this new scene, but not only to be a part of it, but to become above all of these guys. And quickly, and he's almost doing this thing, it's very subtle, but the way he treats comics like Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe here, he's almost sunning them. You understand? He's in this really sneaky way, devising these questions and statements that he makes and the way he puts people down and the way he kind of handles them. It's almost as if he's doing a premeditated positioning to change his positioning here and make it so that the Shane Gillis of the world, the Tony Hinchcliffes, are humbled in his presence and now, give him this respect, and not only the respect, but, refer to him as one of the leaders of the comedy world. It's very strange, hard to articulate in one breath, but you'll catch this. Keep your eye open for this because it's very crafted. It's very thought out. I'm very highly suspicious of Mandel. I've been trying to wrap my head around his behavior because it's so erratic. And I think sometimes when behavior is so confusing, it could be on purpose. Let's find out. Here's Howie Mandel, and he's a nasty person. He does this show with his nasty, spoiled, rotten daughter. And he treats her awful. This is not how a family should interact with each other.
Anyway, are we rolling? Okay. So, we're here in Austin. I'm telling you that we're on.
I know we're on. I heard you say, are we rolling?
No way to speak to someone.
Yeah. Move the mic closer to your mouth.
Ooh.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah.
And he does a thing that we used to see Melton do. We've seen people do this before where when they enter a room, they're going to quickly clear a path to make way for themselves. And they want everybody to kind of be under their order quickly. Impatiently, he will put you down. He'll say just the right thing to let you know, you shut up and I'm in charge here. And it's a very... I've seen people do this before. This is a very disgusting trait found in men. Here.
The guest is in the elevator.
Yeah.
We are in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
And today's guest, are you playing the theme song now?
Cold open.
This is running really cold.
Yeah, this is Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I'm Howie Mandel.
I'm Jacqueline Schultz.
Ooh. And we are in Austin. and chasing guests that we can't.
Chasing guests. He even says it. We're in Austin chasing guests that we couldn't get in L.A.
Wow.
Chasing. Cloud chasing.
And chasing guests that we can't get in L.A.
Why? Why must you be hungry for guests?
I hear there's a knock at the door. Our guest is here. It is. I think it is.
Do you want
Is
to?
it Tony? Tony?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Tony. Tony Hinchcliffe, ladies and gentlemen, from Kill Tony.
Be careful.
Yes. Wait. So there's 3 more minutes left in the podcast, and
There's Tony not going to get a joke here. So Tony showed up late. So Howie makes this crack. He goes, "We got about 3 more minutes left of the podcast." Listen to Tony. Remember, this is the quickest-witted man we have. We've heard Joe Rogan says there's nobody quicker than Tony. Let's find out. This is true.
minutes left in the podcast,
3 minutes left.
and
It's a joke.
yeah,
Look.
no. Are you not?
And then he
sitting
starts
in?
leaving.
Wait, you want me now? I thought you said. Oh, you were making. Okay.
It was like a joke.
It was a joke.
Not a good one.
I thought there's so many podcasts happening nowadays that I thought you meant there were 3 minutes left in this one and you were going to tape another one.
No, this is it. This is the
So
beginning of
now Howie has established in his own mind, okay, this will be cake. Because Howie is actually quite aggravated that all these kids are rich and famous now. Because in his mind, they don't have a fraction of the talent that it took for him to get where he is, right? He's watching these comics and they're lousy. He's seen the production and it's cheap. And he probably can't wrap his head around why all this is happening. So he's very aggressive with them. He likes to put them down and he likes to make them nervous in his presence. Watch this. And it's so great to see it happen to Tony. When we're watching this, we go, it's hard to... We watch this to hate on Tony, right? But every time I'm watching Howie Mandel, I end up hating Howie the most. And almost feeling bad that they're putting these people through these mind warps. If Howie ever tried that shit with me, I'd knock him in the face. I'd get up and I'd just hit him in the face. I'd kill him in front of his sister or his daughter. Here's Tony starting the show with confusion. Boomer confusion, not getting the joke, and then coming up with one of his patented excuses as to why he's made it such a mess up. Instead of just laughing at himself. Ha, ha, ha. He's always got an excuse to, to try to convince you that he's not as stupid as he looks. And that hat is really awful. It's a promotional hat. Now, you notice Tony is wearing glasses again. He's got these tinted glasses he's been wearing. Okay, let's see what happens.
I thought there's so many podcasts happening nowadays that I thought you meant there were 3 minutes left in this one and you were going to tape another one.
No, this is it. This is the beginning of this one. We rolled before you got here.
I love it.
Yeah, Tony Hinchcliffe, ladies and gentlemen. A very funny comedian, entrepreneur, and podcaster. You say, and I believe this is true, the #1 live podcast in the world?
It is, and we're in front of a live audience, and it's a very niche show. It's all about stand-up
It's
comedy.
a very niche show. I learned this from Entourage as well while we're on Entourage here. Niche, right? I think is another one that's very confusing. Listen to this, Tony. And most times when you misspeak on a podcast, the host lets it go. They know what you mean. They let it go. They don't embarrass and humiliate their guest within the first 5 minutes. That should be one of YouTube's rules to get demonetized. If you humiliate your guest within 10 minutes, you lose your monetization. So Howie is known for this, and watch what Howie does to poor Tony. I can't believe I'm saying this.
Comedian, entrepreneur, and podcaster. You say, and I believe this is true, the #1 live podcast in the world?
It is, and we're in front of a live audience, and it's a very niche show. It's all about stand-up comedy.
Why is it niche as opposed to niche?
I did say that wrong. I took a chance
It's
there.
the hard
Oh, wait, you see Tony's
as
face?
opposed to niche.
I did say that wrong.
Oh,
That had me feeling for Tony.
I mean, that hurts, huh, Tony? And he's got to admit it. How will he excuse himself from this one? Let's see the lengths he'll go through to get out of this jam.
Comedy?
Why is it niche as opposed to niche?
And then the daughter.
I did say that wrong.
Imagine that punk ass daughter corrects you like that with that smirk on her face.
Niche.
Niche.
Comedy?
Why is it niche as opposed to niche?
I did say that wrong. I took a chance
It's
there.
the hard CH.
Yeah.
I hate when you do that, though. I hate when you call people.
You know what?
out
He
on
took the
shit.
E
Yeah.
off.
Oh, but you loved it just as you got off on it. You were fucking squirting downstairs with it with your new Michaela cut. By the way, this is all blonde here. When she turns to
I
the
know.
side, it's
I was
shocking.
shocked to see the ponytail.
You're doing a Michaela style thing. But I like how she said, why would you do that? Well, you just fucking got off on it. You were fingering yourself to daddy doing that.
Hard CH.
Yeah.
I hate when you do that, though. I hate when you call people.
You know what?
out
He
on
took the
shit.
E off. He took
Niche.
the E off. Niche.
Tony's in hell.
It's niche.
No, but he's a niche.
He said
I said niche.
That's
Niche.
okay. You can
Yeah.
create your own shit. You can do it.
You know?
That's worse. What you just said there was worse than what Dad said. See, this is this new Michaela styling she's got going on, except Michaela would never wear this scrunchie. Except she would, actually. She probably owns that same one from Target. Okay, so then the daughter goes in hard. Listen.
I said niche.
That's
Niche.
okay. You can
Yeah.
create your own shit. You can do it.
You can create your own shit. You could. I'd want to break her
You can
glasses.
do it.
Ugh.
He said
Niche. I said niche.
That's
Niche.
okay. You can
Yeah.
create your own shit. You can do it.
You know?
If you have the #1 show, I feel
fucked
like
up.
you can make up words.
Yeah. It is.
I feel like you two
move
met
on.
at Warby Parker.
Oh, and then he hits him with a nut. So this is 3 in a row. Remember, Tony came in, didn't get the joke about 3 minutes left. Pronounced this word wrong, humiliated by both father and daughter. And then he goes right into this. We're going to hit him 3 in a row. Listen to this.
Words.
Yeah. It is.
I feel like you two met at Warby Parker.
Yeah.
Mine are
I
fake.
feel like you two met at Warby Parker because they're both wearing glasses. And his daughter then chimes in with this. Very
I
important.
feel like you two met at Warby Parker.
Yeah.
Mine are fake.
Mine are too.
No,
They're both wearing fake glasses. I mean, guys. Fake regular glass, not sunglasses. Fake regular glasses. Now, Tony's do look a little tinted, but not tinted enough to be... Here, Howie's going to explain it perfectly.
Yeah.
mine are fake.
Mine are too.
No, they're not. Are they?
Absolutely. These are not prescription.
They're not?
You're going for a
Oh,
look?
wow.
No, this is my hungover.
But if you're hungover, why aren't you wearing sunglasses? Like, what's the clear...
What I've learned is that wearing normal glasses for me works better than sunglasses when it comes to a hangover.
Ow.
Sunglasses,
Think
take
of
away.
something.
It's over, fuck. It's over, Tony. You're emasculated. You're humiliated. You've been cucked. It's a good thing you're in a hotel sitting in one of them chairs. They call that the cuck chair. And by the way, if you've ever been to a hotel in Arizona, do not sit in the chairs because I've been to all these hotels. You should see what I do to these rooms. And what do you think? They're steam cleaning every chair? These are fabric chairs in Arizona.
Oh, that's actually
Tony
so
sits in that chair. Tony sits in those hotel chairs naked, jacking off to men. Okay, so this is humiliation. Tony being cucked. Let's see how he gets out of this one.
Take away everything. Whereas with normal glasses, I still have a little bit of I can
Right. Right. That's exactly
I
what I
don't
was thinking when I
understand
put
what
them
the
on.
fuck
when
you
I,
just
no,
said.
I get it. When I
Howie.
put mine on, I was doing that.
Oh, and then she openly mocks him. Did you see what Tony's excuse was? This is quite pathetic. I'll zoom in on this one. Look at this.
Whereas with normal glasses, I still have a little bit of I can
And then watch what she does.
Right. That's exactly
I
what I
don't
was thinking when I
understand
put
what
them
the
on.
fuck
when
you
I,
just
no, I
said.
get it. When I put mine on, I was.
It's
I
a,
was
Oh, yeah? You fucking bitch! Good one, daughter evil. You're proud of your evil daughter? Or you don't like when she makes jokes? Huh? Only you can be insulting?
Holy Holy fuck. This is the most nervous I've ever seen Tony.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean, Tony's doing that nervous laugh here. If he had a pen, the thing would have been exploded all over his shirt already.
He's taking his Xanax next time he goes on this podcast,
this
like
is
he did on New Year's
very
Eve.
difficult. We're only 3 minutes in, by the way.
That's exactly what I was thinking when I put them on. No, I get it. When I put mine on, I was doing that.
It's a very niche thing.
Oh, no.
It doesn't do anything.
I know.
It doesn't. It's like you stayed inside and you're looking out the window to see if it's windy. It's like you're not. It doesn't. Clear glasses do.
Think of this as a roast. Think of this as busting balls between two roast masters. Just think of it as when David Lucas is roasting you. Just keep laughing. Roll with the punches. Inside, he's dying.
Window to see if it's windy. It's like you're not. It doesn't.
Absolutely.
Clear glasses do nothing. But both of you are wearing fake glasses.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for hammering this in.
So I was in town. I got to do, and this.
Oh, the fool's cap adjust. You ever seen that? It's where you wish you were dead, so you adjust your hat. Okay.
Now, this is part of Howie's methodology. First, he brings you in, he tears you down to your base level, and then he overloads you with compliments so that he's the one who's in charge.
Rick Glassman is a similar hustle.
Whole show this way.
So which code is this? Are we
just go to 340.
340. Okay. And how would you type that here?
0340, sorry.
0340. Oh, look at this. They're showing some...
This is quite the code we cracked together.
Look at this.
Huh?
Okay.
Podcasts ever. 10 years.
Yeah, 10 and a half years now.
10 and a half years. Well, I should talk about like this when we're going to air this episode. Kill Tony has been going on for 13 and a half years.
Watch Tony's head during this. He's saying to himself, absolutely. That's absolutely right. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Of course. My accolades. Yep. They all ring true. Watch his head.
And, but it is, as much as I love it and watching it, and so many comedians have launched a career, and I know their names, and viral videos just explode out of there, where I don't even know. I didn't know sometimes that it was from your. It's just amazing what you have created. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, it's constantly evolving, and I'm always trying to like make it new and figure out how to evolve the questions, other than how long they've been.
The questions are: how old are you? What are your cats' names? What school did you go to? Where are you from? He's always tried to evolve the questions. These are some of the worst questions in podcast history. What do your parents do for a living? What's the temperature like? Okay, let's hear some more.
Stand up and what they do for a living. Like, it's like I'm always trying to keep myself entertained.
But not only that, you have an amazing, probably one of the best bands I've ever heard.
Madness.
Which we don't really get to hear when we watch your show.
Yeah.
You know, when you go there live, there's like 20 minutes of, I don't know how long it is.
Mike got all excited when that part happened.
Yeah, I
thought that Howie was going to
talk about the audio. Because you know how they don't always pipe in the band. Like, I want to hear the band. Like when you watch The Tonight Show or Conan O'Brien, that band is just as loud as Conan's voice. It's all equal. The crowd noise, Conan's voice, it's all level. I want that band loud. Tony wants that band quiet. He says, don't pipe it into the podcast mix. They could hear it fine through the speakers. So I thought that's what Howie was referring to, where he's like, we don't get to hear the band that much. But no, he was saying, we don't get to see this 20-minute pre-show that they do that is so good. It's some of the worst music I've ever heard.
When you go there live, there's like 20 minutes of, I don't know how long it is, but the band will play and really does, because you told me like whatever time the show is going to begin, we go down for 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, I go, well, isn't that late? You go, no, listen to this. The band is, the room is packed. People have been waiting a year to get tickets, and that room is packed. And this band, who seem like the most accomplished musicians.
I mean, really, look at these headlines. I'm going to zoom in on this. This is right on the money. This is everything I wanted to be said about me, coming from a legend. This is, coming from, absolutely.
Who seem like the most accomplished musicians.
This is right on the money. Exactly what I want to be said about me.
In that kind of venue, up close. really sets a vibe. And not only do they set a vibe, they also...
A vibe for a black jazz party. Outdated jazz music from cheap black musicians. What a vibe.
You can go to 0530 now.
Is he going to talk about... It's coming up right here.
Okay, good. Keep going.
And as a comedian or as a host, you have like a backup band which is playing along with you. It's
totally.
just...
Absolutely.
Totally. I'm obsessed with music, always have been, and more so live music. Like if I find a song of any kind that I love, I'll look up the live version of that song and always enjoy that more. And so when we moved from...
You know what? You're not into music. You're into audience reactions. Screaming and hollering. See? I'm into the live version much more because of the audience shots of the live version. I like to imagine they're all screaming my name. That's the comedians. Oh, no. What happened? 0530. There we go.
A backup band which is playing along with you. It's
Totally. I'm obsessed with music, always have been, and more so live music. Like if I find a song of any kind that I love, I'll look up the live version of that song and always enjoy that more. And so when we moved from LA to Austin, we had a silly comedic band before that would play characters.
We had a silly comedic band before. Jeremiah, Joelberg, Joel Mendez, Jetski Johnson. That was a silly joke band before. Nothing like this good band of blacks. Band of brothers.
From LA to Austin, we had a silly comedic band before that would play characters and barely, it didn't fill the room with sound. It wasn't about that. It was kind of like a joke on the old talk show band.
Right. And if any of those band members are listening right now, are they thrilled with you?
Yeah, no, they're very funny. They left quite the legacy of silliness. It was very silly. Listen. It was, in fact, in my professional opinion of the show, a little bit too silly. It took away from the opportunity sometimes of the bucket pools.
Okay. Clip it, send it to Watkins now. I want to make sure Watkins hears this from at least 300 different people. You clip this part, starts at...
Chroma Chris, remember?
Chroma Chris
Redbar.
Is listening, I hope. You were a joke band you actually took away from the show.
Insane.
Not like John Lewis or whoever you've got playing the keys now. So, that was extremely disrespectful, especially to a band that's been thinking that every day and feeling that negative feeling that you give to them. And now it's confirmed. And even Howie, who's an incredible asshole, he's dressed in Help Me merch from Helicline. Even he was shocked that you would talk about the band that way. You didn't even think of that as a mean thing to say. And then you expanded on it, got even nastier.
Too silly. It took away from the opportunity sometimes of the bucket pools because there was all these distractions, whether they were dentists that episode or...
I would kill for the dentists.
Wizards.
And this just reminded me how much better the bucket pools used to be when you had all of those guys around.
Yeah, because these bucket pools are the worst part of the show.
I don't need to see
we don't actually want jerk in a hoodie. No more hoodies. If they're wearing a hoodie, we don't need to see them do stand-up.
What about a crew neck?
If they're wearing a crew neck, sure. That's fine. These hoodies, that is a disgraceful thing to wear out in public.
Different character. So it added an element of comedy, but only silliness. And, I always think that the backbone of the show is the bucket pulls, the opportunity, the risk.
You hear that, Jeremiah?
Anything can happen. It could be great, and it could be the worst thing ever. It could be the funniest thing ever, or it could be sad, like we saw in the back half of that episode that we taped last night. A lot of people talking about how many friends have killed themselves and things like that, and you're like, oh my God.
I don't think Howie's into that. Howie doesn't get off on that. Okay, what's our next little code here?
0715.
0715. Look at this new system we have here. Redbar Rewind.
Jeremiah posted this crazy TikTok where he was like singing along to the Succession theme song.
Ooh.
I'm not going to do it because it's too cringe.
It was really cringe.
It's literally been stuck in my head for like weeks.
Maybe
now.
We should hear it.
I'll find it.
Yeah, why don't you find that? That sounds good. Great, actually. Here.
There was someone painting I saw in the corner.
Oh, listen to this. So, yeah, they're talking about how, how Tony has the artist up there that paints, some sort of interpretation of each show, usually drawing Tony as a superhero god rising from, a burning car crash, saving the day. They're going to talk about that a little bit here. Listen to this.
Whole atmosphere in general. There was someone painting I
love
in the
this
corner.
clip.
Did you notice that?
No.
But the whole atmosphere was just very cool. And the vibe was very cool and exciting to be there just overall.
Well, the painting thing is by design because I figured we have every other type of art pretty much happening, right?
Okay, this is great. I love this. So yes, we have a guy painting on stage because I figured we have every other type of art happening. Let's do them all. Okay, great concept. Let's hear about some of those other arts that take place on the Kill Tony stage.
By design because I figured we have every other type of art pretty much happening, right? We have stand-up, improv, hosting, right?
Hosting? Oh, thank you. I feel like Pablo. Why do you got all those dang windows on your Tahoe? Thank you. Hosting, huh? One of the highest arts.
The top 3.
We've got stand-up, improv, host. I love it. This
I
is
thought
a
he was
great.
going to be like Tony Soprano, Skulls.
Yeah, I mean he could.
Initials.
Sure, he's an art. He's an art lover. Here.
By design because I figured we have every other type of art pretty much happening, right? We have stand-up, improv, hosting, right? Music. There's a video technology happening, podcast technology.
Video technology. One of the fine arts.
I would say.
And now the award for best video technology.
Also, the Kill Tony videos that they play suck and are way too long.
They're terrible. There's no art
long.
happening. And you put up with this? Why? For $35K? What is he paying you, by the way, to do this?
Probably a lot. It's her dad. That's like the best gig. You can just ask for a raise anytime.
I wonder how much money she has. I hate her. Stand-up, improv, hosting, and of course, video technology.
Music. There's a video technology happening, podcast technology. So we have all of these different art
and even
forms.
the joke books that you give out. For those, if there's there probably is some people that
This is
watch my
horrible.
podcast.
What were these created by that guy from Impulsive? Mac? These are like Mac lean joke books.
For those, if there's
also this whole shtick
probably,
that Howie's doing, we just watched him do this with Ethan like a month ago.
That's true, where
he got obsessed with H3 and infiltrated
this is
them.
Howie did.
To them, he was like, this is the best show, best I've ever seen.
Well, this is what Howie's doing. Howie's going into every community and running this shtick, and they're all honored because Tony and Ethan, they get to tell their moms that they know Howie. And so Howie is weaseled his way into all these people's lives. So I saw this with Rick Glassman, with H3, with Tony here. And it seems like these people are excited to tell their parents that I'm going to be on the Howie Mandel show. Surely you know Howie. Surely that means something. He's been in your life your whole life. I think that's how he is able to do what he's doing here. Because all of these guys, they really want to... Mom, you're not going to believe it. Howie Mandel, yeah. Because all the other names, what are you going to say? Shane Gillis, Theo Vaughn to your mom? They don't give a fuck. Even if you said to your mom, Sarah Silverman, they don't give a fuck. But, Howie Mandel. They get all excited. AGT.
Some people that watch my podcast that are not aware of Kill Tony.
Bonsai. I hate those. If you ever see this Bonsai guy, destroy all his journals. Rip them up. I hate those. Cheap cut leather bound journals. He's using a wood burner to engrave the Kill Tony logo. It looks awful. These journals are not cool. They're not nice. They're very gross. And they look like Native American trinkets. Made in China Native American trinkets, which I glanced at. Saw the Made in China sticker. I said, no thanks. I'm not accepting gifts till the baby is born.
There are parting gifts
for people
that come up.
You can go to 22 minutes.
2200. We're going to be using Redbar. Rewind. Go on.
So they called Jeff Ross.
Yes, Jeff Ross,
has a thing where
the
he
roof
calls
master,
people up, like Bert does, where he calls someone in the middle of the show if you bring him up. And so he's talking about how he came up with Jeff Ross, and that's why Jeff's on the phone.
Okay, let's hear.
Kind of.
That's a no.
And yes, you remember, because I was turning him on to Jewish soul food.
This is Jeff Ross.
We were eating more and more. And Tony, after a few weeks on the road with me, had a new nickname. What was it, Tony?
He's Fat Tony.
Because they're talking about they went on the road together. Jeff Ross and Tony Hinchcliffe fell in love at the Comedy Store. He goes, "Why don't you come on the road and open for me, buddy?" He must have seen something in you where he could get away with a lot of his road crimes, where he knew that you would let it happen. I mean, you've let your dad get away with many crimes, so you'll let Jeff Ross do his hotel stuff, which is every comic's dream, the hotel stuff after the shows in strange cities. So Jeff Ross is with you, and Jeff is telling a story now on the phone about how Tony was this skinny, scrawny guy, but when they went on this tour together, Tony ate all this fast food, and he started growing a little gut. They started calling him Fat Tony. Listen.
Had a new nickname. What was it, Tony?
He's Fat Tony.
Fat Tony.
He has a beautiful
Tony
smile.
The door was now like...
Doesn't Tony have a beautiful smile and laugh?
He's really being...
Really
sensitive
beautiful.
And sweet on this podcast.
No. Look at that little mustache.
But he was that's what I was trying to say before. He was acting like this on the New Year's Eve show too, where he was like so calm.
This is kung fu. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but this mustache is very kung fu. Go on. He was being so what?
I was just saying on the New Year's Eve show of Kill Tony, he was acting so calm.
Well, he was on something. Oh my God.
I mean.
I asked Brian on Brian Redband's engagement post. I asked, hey, for the New Year's Eve show, did Tony take a Xanax? And I believe he did. I think he took 2 bars because Tony, did you guys see the Kill Tony New Year's show? Remember, we watched the show the night before. We saw a little live. That was regular Tony. The next night, New Year's Eve, Tony does the show in the arena again. This was a Tony we've never seen. He was fully sedated, heavily on medication. He must have saw how miserable the night before went. He was panicking. It's an arena. He took something because this was in Papa Tony. Like Papa sitting on the couch, smiling at everything, laughing at the commercials. Everything. I've never seen him. He wasn't clicking his pen. He was like this. He was in heaven. So I think he popped something. I asked Brian Redband on that post. I go, did Tony take his Xanax?
No,
I said, congratulations on the engagement! ! Did Tony take his Xanax at the New Year's Eve show? 75 likes on that one.
Catching up to like normal
Listen to this story.
human race. I was like getting fatter and fatter, just, a pound every couple weeks.
Tony's getting fat.
And it got to a point where, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, my body did not know what to do with it. My body was used to one course of really one meal a day.
Right.
And Jeff was having appetizers, soup, a salad course, the main course, and then he has dessert.
Like my son.
Close your legs. This isn't Jamaica. Wife, spread eagle here. Inviting right in front of you. This is like, oh, no. This reminds me of, oh no, there's a Negro in my daughter. You seen this? Where the dad watches the girl get fucked by a black guy. That's basically what's happening here. I don't know if you guys can see this. She's sitting with her legs fully open like Olivia Munn on a boat. Olivia Munn's another one of these pervs. You'll see this every once in a while. She has this thing where she posts a picture where she's spread eagle and they get the most likes. And she does one about every 6 months. She does a spread. That's her sickness. That's her fetish. So she's doing this too now right in front of Daddy and then in the hotel room on the cum couch. Very gross. But listen to this made-up story Jeff and Tony cooked up to cover up the abuse. Whoa, what was that?
Yes, he's saying yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
And that's it?
So it got to a point where, Fat Tony was becoming a reality. And
okay, they're showing this GIF of a fat person where the button's about to pop. Because I guess in this story, Jeff's about to tell Tony's button pops. But listen to this tale.
Stage, I guess it was
here.
Fat Tony was becoming a reality, and we were on stage. I guess it was in Toronto. The Queen Mary, the Queen Victoria,
Queen
one
Elizabeth,
of those fancy theaters.
Queen Elizabeth
there.
Theater, the QET.
And the top button on Tony's jeans in the middle of his act, he's opening for me. It the top button explodes and like pops off, flies into the front row, hits a lady in like the cornea.
Okay. So you're saying that Tony got so fat that his jeans button, I mean, imagine I could imagine dress pants button popping up. Jeans buttons
that shit's on there.
That's on. They've showed that with like
it's like welded on.
It's like Boy Scouts put those together. You can't get that nickel, that fucking penny off. It's not coming up. So you're telling me that Tony got so fat, his jeans button popped off with so much force that it hit a girl in the front row in the eye. Okay, but the story has some more additions.
Into the front row, hits a lady in like the cornea. And she's like,
gross.
what the hell is going on?
Howie.
And like Tony, like, wasn't sure what had happened at first. And then she like pulls his Levi's jeans button out of her eye socket, basically. Her boyfriend's freaking out, right? We have to stop the show. The ushers come over. The lights come on. We take an intermission. The lady's like, like flipping the hell out. And I come out to see what's going on. It disrupts, obviously, the flow of my big entrance. We take the lady and her boyfriend backstage. She's young. She's hot. The boyfriend's getting all like weird about, that me and Tony are taking care of her. And they wind up having a fight. And he leaves her there.
He leaves the girl there, or the boyfriend.
The boyfriend leaves. He wants to take her to the emergency room. She doesn't want to miss my set. So she stays and she sits with Tony on the side of the stage and they watch my entire set. And when I finally come off stage, she has an ice pack on her eye and she's making out with Tony.
No. Yep. That Tony works for you.
That's right.
She was, she winds up.
So Tony, you were
hearing this for the first time also.
Yeah, I think so. And it's hard, but Tony has to still agree the lie story, because he was agreeing with it at the beginning, and now we're at a part that he doesn't really like of the lie story, where he's making out with the girl. He doesn't like when people tell his sexcapades either. He doesn't like when other people tell those personal stories. But here's the part that gets weird, right? About the wife.
Yeah,
listen to this.
This is all good.
Yep.
That Tony works for you.
That's right.
She was, she winds up coming with us to the next stop on the tour. Her eyes started filling up.
No.
And she was Canadian.
How did you forget this fucking story?
How did you forget?
So, Tony got a quickie wedding with her. I co-signed her 3 adopted children, and now Tony lives in Austin with his blind wife and 3 kids.
Okay, so that's all like a joke at the end, right? That Jeff Ross is saying. He goes, long story short, Tony, we went to Vegas. Tony married this woman, and now they live together in Austin.
Now, I almost don't know if Jeff started the joke story at she was sitting there making out with Tony, and then Tony didn't laugh that hard. And just sat there because he thought maybe he was going along.
Well, we definitely know
Jeff
the part where Tony gets married
cool.
to the girl that he poked out her eye. We know that's a joke,
where
right?
Did Jeff start the joke, and where did Tony go from agreeing with a lie story to a joke
the
story?
point of this is Howie doesn't know that's a joke.
Yes.
So there's some miscommunications here. Watch this.
And now Tony lives in Austin with his blind wife and 3 kids.
Yep. It's all true.
Oh my God.
See, he's back to laughing now that he knows.
Listen.
That's the best story.
That's how you met your wife. I didn't find that on the internet. You're very private.
Yeah, very private.
When they talk about popping the question.
Yeah.
That's
really
it.
the joke.
Yep.
Wait, because I've been at the Queen Elizabeth. I played the Queen Elizabeth Theater. For that button to actually cause an eye to...
It's
has
far.
To really get some speed. Go
I
far.
mean, the front row of a theater, you're talking about, there's probably like 20 feet between you on stage, and you're not at the tip of the stage. You're also maybe 5 feet back on the stage. Or think about a big theater stage. Think about an actor from the theater being able to shoot his button 30 feet with enough speed to blind somebody, to get in their eye and cause some damage.
Are you
there.
crazy trying to do a lie story in front of Howie?
Howie has questions. Let's see.
actually cause an eye to...
It has to really get some speed, go far.
It was, it became where Tony didn't want just the pastrami sandwich. He wanted to taste the smoked meat, the pastrami.
Save this for your buddy Dave Attell. This is some old boomer ass, dusty ass comedy. Some Road Dogg shit. The pastrami. If I hear you name one more sandwich, I'm going to expose you for the crimes.
Didn't want just the pastrami sandwich. He wanted to taste the smoked meat.
Okay, there we go. You asked for it.
Pastrami, the corned beef, the latkes. So, yeah, you're going to pop some buttons when that happens.
No, you're not. It's
That's
never
a great
happened.
Story.
I also had the corned beef of the
woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whoa.
And, you know,
You poked her in the eye.
You look right at your daughter's pussy when you said that? Her spread ass fucking puss. You've probably... No, he shoes. You can't say this stuff. Howie's shoes. Right?
Yes.
And down below.
Big fancy podcast, a big mansion in Austin where his kids run around.
Yeah.
They're all fat.
Yeah, little fat kids
His
running
wife's
around.
fat, Tony's fat.
That girl left out.
Mm-hmm.
She really did. And that's an amazing story. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for sharing.
It's exclusive for your podcast,
Thank
Jackie
you.
and Howie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. Bye, Jeff. I love you.
Love you, Jeff.
I love you guys. Tony, take care of Howie down there. I love you guys. I'm so jealous. I'm not hanging with
Shut
you guys, but I'm
up.
glad you called.
What pills are you on? Whatever Jelly Roll's taking's with Jeff. I'm so jealous. I love you guys. I just wish I was there with you. You wish you were in this room like this? This sucks.
Hell yeah. We'll see you soon, pal. Love you, man.
All right. Love you guys. So fun.
There's been rumors you're married, you're not married, and how did you meet your wife?
I was
that
married.
That makes sense. You were married?
The actual story of my marriage is actually kind of wilder than that. I
remember, and I was going, what? The story of his marriage. Remember when Tony married that crack whore? This was crazy. I totally forgot about this. It was years ago, and all of a sudden Tony Hinchcliffe has a wife from Australia. Not only a wife, but a nude emo goth model wife.
Speaking of Mia Goth, she was very Mia Goth.
Yes, she like all black everything, black hair, very pale, like a very alt type girl. And she did artistic alt goth nudes. So Tony gets married, and, we've been making fun of Tony at this point for years.
But he didn't talk about it ever. He posted a couple of pictures of her, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
and
so remember
was always wondering what happened.
Tony's marriage, we were always wondering what happened because we always assumed this was some green card scam she was pulling. She was some model from Australia, and she wanted to move to the States. All of a sudden, she's marrying, and Tony wasn't rich at the time. Remember, Tony didn't have any money. He was severely ugly, probably 10 times uglier than he is here. And she was this model, and you could tell that he was being used or something weird was going on. She's posting nude pics, and everybody... He was basically like the first Big Mike and Lana Rhoades. And we were like all the Tate-style fans to Big Mike with Lana Rhoades. We were always harassing Tony for, the nudes. And every week she was serving up new pictures of Tony's wife naked for us that she was posting. Tony's going to tell the story of what happened there. Would you like to hear?
Is this the first time he's ever talked about this?
I don't know. I don't recall
remember
this.
him ever bringing it up while they were married or after.
Check this out. Remember this sound effect? The digging, the tunnel from the opening. All right, let's just hear for old time's sake Tony's marriage story.
Wilder than eating Jew food till you poke somebody in the eye.
Well, yeah, you're right. That is a little tough. But no, my actual marriage was short-lived, but very much fun. It was a beautiful, very cool Australian girl that I met just like I would meet anybody. And at the Comedy Store back in the day.
So you took advantage of your power position there. Okay, I understand.
Front bar, and she was super funny and super cool, and we're still friends to this day. But we went to, she's like, I have to go back to Australia because I've been in America for a certain amount of months.
Green card.
And I'm like, screw that. Let's go to Vegas. I'm like, I have nothing to lose. Turns out she's the heiress of a, long story short, $1 billion tire empire in Australia. So I'm like, this is great. What do I have to lose?
Your mind, your sanity. You can't just marry people. What do I have to lose? She can't sue me. She has more money than me. This is a win-win to get falsely married.
Marry her, and she's not going to take my money. She's fully loaded. So this is a win-win situation. That's all I had to lose was any money or future money. And sure enough, it worked out perfectly.
Wait.
Howie doesn't get that.
Wait, isn't it your ex?
Yeah, it's my ex-wife.
Who has an ex-wife and says it worked out perfectly?
Thanks, Howie. Jeez, he's difficult, huh?
He makes you explain everything.
I mean, Tony was just kidding there.
Yeah, it's my ex-wife.
Who has an ex-wife and says it worked out perfectly?
Yeah, I'm telling you,
the divorce worked in your favor, is what you mean?
100%.
Yeah.
That's not what you meant.
It was amazing. We had a good run.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I know, it is. Everyone that knows us knows it was like the coolest beginning to end.
I know you. I don't know that. I think it was a horrible, weird, sketchy situation.
Seeing this now is making it seem like he actually is still in love with her.
In love with her.
He just would do anything.
Yes,
for her
but
when he met her,
was
he
too
let
cool.
her-
So when she said, I want to end this marriage, she goes, yeah, of course.
That's
This is
what
a
I was
joke
thinking.
marriage to me, too. And meanwhile, he's crying every night.
Knows us knows it was like the coolest beginning to end. Like it was like
Does she
beginning,
say it
middle,
works
and
out- it
ending.
worked out perfectly?
100%. I was just in San Diego 2 weeks ago, and her new boyfriend and our old dog all came to my show.
That's disgusting. That's cockatoo. He's like,
Tony.
absolutely, I still see her. She came to my show with her new boyfriend and our old dog that she kept. That's cockatoo.
I'm
You don't let
picturing
somebody
his-
take your dog. Sorry. You let someone take your dog and then they bring it back with the new boyfriend? That's cockatoo. You're sitting in Cuck's corner.
I'm imagining a scene from Girls or something like that.
Yeah. Some Desi shit.
Her and her new boyfriend and our old dog all came to my show. It sat
They're not one and the same.
side stage. No, they're all different entities.
Howie.
Wow.
Okay.
Howie.
Yeah,
shit.
and we had a blast. We're all super cool. She's like
disgusting.
the funniest, coolest
Oh,
chick.
yeah,
I've
real
ever seen.
funny.
Are you
the
cool with-
pictures of her slitting her wrists every day on Instagram were a hoot. I mean, this girl paraded around like she was a ghost from a Japanese horror movie. There was nothing funny about her. In fact, every day, like it would be like posts of her,
There
like,
was nothing
and then it would be
funny
like,
about it.
Life is nothing more than a laugh. I would love
Well,
to
that
see.
sounds pretty
she acted like
funny.
a. Not well. I mean, I don't think those were the exact words. She might. She doesn't. She doesn't. She meant what she meant by that was that she thinks life is she wants to end her life. That's what she was suicidal. She was like a suicide girl, but legit and way more. Remember, she paraded around like a dang ghost.
Oh, I love knowing that Tony is pining over the one that got away. That makes him so
We should
much
check
more
up on her.
They're all
interesting.
super cool. She's like the funniest, coolest chick I've ever
See,
seen.
he still
Are you
loves
cool
her.
with your, and if you don't want to talk about it, we won't, but are you cool with your family? I know you were raised by a single mother, right?
Yep, single mom, and
Great. Was that it for Tony here?
3120 for a little one to end it
Great.
off.
And this is great because every Italian tells me the same thing. You might be able to guess. What do Italians all say about their mom? Let's hear it. Tony's going to say it himself.
TV shows and all those roasts, and you were on the road with him and playing big theaters and eating Jew food.
yeah,
You were
it was amazing.
Jew food?
Oh God, yes. I had no idea. I didn't really
to this
know
shit.
about like courses. I didn't.
I'm an Italian from a mafia Italian family. Growing up, I didn't know about courses like the Jews have in their cuisine. I don't know what he's
That
talking
one
about.
before.
The Jews break out a piece of matzah. They complain about some prices. There is definitely not multiple courses. Well, maybe for the Ethan Kleins of the world. But very weird coming from an Italian who's constantly bragging about how Italian and how great of a cook his mom was. He says this.
God, yes. I had no idea. I didn't really know about like courses. I didn't know like there was like levels to it.
That's not a Jew thing.
Kind of. I mean,
Thanks,
yeah,
Howie.
Italians do like kind of a salad, but everybody in my family always skipped the salad because my mom's sauce was, and you know, the,
Wait, are you Italian?
My mom's sauce. Okay, I've heard it all now. Let me guess. She makes the best sauce. It all tastes the same. You know what the best sauce is? Prego. I guarantee Prego. You do a spoon by spoon, side by side test of the raw pasta sauce. Unmarked jars. Prego and your mom's sauce. We taste them. You're going to favor Prego. You are. It beats Italian mother's sauce every time in every taste test. I can prove it. Send in your mom's best sauce. We'll put them in, I'll do the taste test. How about this? Are you Italian? Send in your mom's wonderful sauce. No, don't do that. I'm not tasting anyone's homemade sauce.
You're throwing away every other course every night.
It doesn't make sense.
Food, the most coarse, heavy.
I know. All they do is bring out food. So you think, yeah, we had side salads, but we would throw those away because of my mom's sauce. Okay, there he is, Tony Hinchcliffe. Remember, the more podcasts you do to promote something, the more trouble you end up getting in. And there is Tony.